Hey everyone, and welcome to another Ironsworn video. This time we're going to be following the adventures of Orin, who is a brand new character. As usual, you don't have to watch any video before this one to enjoy the playthrough. So, Orin here is going to be a Paladin type of character, and now that he's properly equipped for the occasion, let's go over his assets. The first one, and the most important, is the Devotant asset. This represents Orin's devotion to Solael, the Lightbringer, a god of justice and light. We have two abilities here that hopefully will be very useful in our adventure. Then we have the Lightbearer asset. I added this one to give Orin a bit of magic and power, and basically we can use this asset, which has a light track, to attack undead creatures and also other enemies that dwell in the dark. I think these two assets really bring the whole Paladin thing to life for this character, but we also have a few more assets to round it up. First we have the Shieldbearer asset and also the Sunderer asset. These two are combat oriented because at the end of the day Orin is a warrior and he basically heads straight into combat in the name of his god. And finally, as you can see, this character has 4 assets and 2 of those have 2 abilities. Basically what this means is this is not really an inexperienced character. On the contrary, he has quite a lot of experience. He's probably been a paladin for years, maybe 5 years, 6 years or something like that. And I just wanted to try a playthrough with a character that has more abilities, so we can perhaps showcase more of the tactical options that having different assets gives to you in your playthroughs. And now to the adventure. We have this map here, and you can see we have these villages, we have this city down here, and we're picking up right when Orin arrives to the village up in the north, the village of Ironvale. This village has been besieged by undead coming from an ancient crypt up in the mountains. We must swear an iron vow to purge this crypt from all the undead and make this village safe again. That's going to be the main focus of our video today. Hey, real quick everyone, if you'd like to run an adventure like this yourself, I've just released something special for my patrons. It's a solo module called The Weeping Portal, directly inspired by my last video, The Mystic Playthrough. It's a 20 plus pages PDF, full of story hooks and custom tables to make it your own. Your support on Patreon makes it all of this possible. You can grab your copy using the link in the description below. Thank you. Okay, so let's get to the fun part of this video, which is actually playing. So, our character is here on the village of Ironvale, and let's open the map here. Okay, so let's say that we are here on the town square, and we are going to swear our vow, which is going to be named Purge the Ancient Crypt. Okay. All right. And let's say that the rank for this is dangerous. Okay, let's say it's dangerous. And so let's look up the moves, and the moves is swear an iron vow. Okay, very good. And as I mentioned, this asset, Devotant asset, the first ability says when you say, no, sorry, the second, when you swear an iron vow to serve your god on a divine quest, you may roll plus your god's stat. Okay. For this god, I'm saying that the iron is the god's favorite stat or something like that. Okay. And you may roll any dice, so that's very good. Okay, the moves were an iron vow. Usually you roll plus heart, but we're going to be rolling plus iron. Okay, so we can envision this like Orin is he's getting ready to head out to the crypt, and right before he does this, he grabs his axe, raises it toward his head or maybe his forehead, and he makes a silent prayer to his god and swear his vow. Okay, so I'm going to roll plus iron. We roll and we get a weak hit. And here it does say that we can reroll any dice. Okay, so let's reroll this one, and it's still a weak hit. Okay, so it's a weak hit. On a weak hit, you are determined but begin your quest with more questions than answers. Take +1 momentum and envision what you do to find a path forward. Okay, so we're going to take +1 momentum. Perhaps he didn't feel a connection with Solael, which is something that he usually does or feels when he's setting out on a quest. This kind of puzzles him, but he's just gonna press on. Okay, that's the way I envision the weak hit here. All right, And before we go, there's something else in this asset that I think. Okay, it says when you say your daily prayers, you may secure an advantage by asking your god to grant a blessing. If you do, roll plus your god stats, and on a hit, take +2 momentum. I think that would make sense also, right? Like he makes all the preparations he can, especially now since he kind of didn't feel the connection there. Maybe he prays a bit more, and to do that, we're going to secure an advantage. And basically, what this does is gonna help us prepare better for our for the quest. Okay. So when you say your daily prayers, you may secure an advantage. Okay, we roll our god stat, which is iron again, and we get a weak hit. On a hit, take +2 momentum. Okay, so it's a weak hit, so we take +2 momentum. And on a weak hit, your advantage is short-lived and take +1 momentum. So we take 1 more momentum. Okay, so our momentum track is now 6. And again, he's kind of feeling. He feels something strange towards his vow. Okay, like there's something he's not aware of, or something he doesn't know. That's kind of what he's getting from his connection to this deity. Okay, so let's head out. Let's go back to the main map, and it's here, the Forbidden Crypt. I'm going to do a single undertake a journey move, okay, to get there. I don't want to bog this down with a whole journey track. So undertake a journey, and it's a plus wits, if I remember correctly. When you travel across, set the rank. Okay, it's plus wits. Okay, so we're going to roll plus wits, and we get a weak hit. On a weak hit, you reach a waypoint, and mark progress will suffer -1 supply. Okay, so we reach the Forbidden Crypt, but we lose 1 supply. Okay, so it's easy. It took us a while to get here, and we consume some of our supplies. All right, so now let's get into the crypt. So we open the map here, and this is the map that we got for this dungeon in the Ogre. And I'm going to place our character right here at the entrance, and we are going to start exploring this room by room, perhaps. Okay, can make this a bit larger. Let's say, okay, this one like this, and let's see what we find here. So our character is right outside the crypt, and before he heads into the dungeon, we're going to be using our light bearer asset, the first ability, so we can increase the light track. Okay, when you focus on a source of light and capture its essence, roll plus wits. On a strong hit, set your light track to +6. On a weak hit, make it +3. So we are going to roll plus wits, and the way I see this is Orin, he has a lantern clipped to his belt, and what he does is he grabs it and he raises at eye level, and looking at the flame, he makes a silent prayer to his god. Okay, so we roll plus wits, and we get a weak hit. Okay, so on a weak hit, it's +3 on the light track. Okay, so we get +3. Maybe we'll have a chance to do that again in the dungeon. I don't know. Okay, right. So we are about to enter the crypt, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll a room here, so that will help us get a sense of what is happening here. Okay, so I select the sun type entrance, and we add it. Okay, so drag it here, double tap, and okay, so this is the entrance. Pretty grim. Okay, entrance area, grand stairway. Okay, so as we enter here, we see this grand stairway heading up, and then we have these 2 rooms right here. Okay, and now the question is if there is something in this room, and for that I'm going to be using the yes and no oracle. Okay, and I think it's 50-50. Okay, so 50-50, is there a foe in this room? No. Okay, so we managed to get here, and let's say, okay, we enter dungeon and we are in the first room. I think we can advance this one track. Yeah, I think that makes sense. Basically, we're going to do a couple fights here, and that's what's going to fill this tracker here. But we may feel as we explore the rooms. Okay, perhaps now Orin is going to check this room up here, and I'm going to roll a random room. To do that, I'm going to roll a random room here. Let's leave it random. Okay, we get a treasury. All right, let's put that here. So he enters this room. Again, let's see if there's a foe here. 50-50. Yes, there is an enemy here. Okay. Okay, so let's go to new foe. And let's see. Okay, it should be undead. Okay, so let's say it's a zombie. This is going to be mainly zombies and perhaps a necromancer at the end, I think. So zombie. Okay, and we add him to the map. Right, so if we press on it, okay, this is the combat tracker, okay? And okay, so Orin enters the room and the first thing he sees is this zombie standing right here, okay? So we're going to do combat and it's going to be enter the fray. Right, so when you enter into combat, set the rank of each of your foes. This one is troublesome, and it's plus hard. Okay, so we roll plus hard in this case. Okay, roll with hard. It's a weak hit. We could burn momentum, but on a weak hit, bolster your position, take +2 momentum, or prepare to act, take initiative. Okay, I'm going to start with initiative. That's what we're going to do. Okay, so we have the initiative, and I think it's too soon to use this light better asset right here. I think we should just strike. Okay, this is an easy enemy, so strike, and strike it's with plus iron because we're using our axe. By the way, let's set this to harm because we have a weapon. Okay, so we roll with iron, and we get a miss with a match. Okay, on a miss, your attack fails, and you must pay the price. All right. So, okay, the obvious thing is that we're going to suffer plus harm, right? So we reduce health by 1, and then for the match, I'm going to like add a second effect. So we're going to roll on this pay the price table. Okay, so we roll, and we get a 3. On a 3, a person or community you trusted loses faith in you or acts against you. Okay, this could be something for when we actually get out of the dungeon, but here I don't see this having any real effect on the situation. Okay, so let's keep that in mind for after we clear the dungeon. Okay. Okay, so it was a miss. We lose initiative. Okay, so we lose initiative, and we don't mark progress. Okay, so now that we don't have initiative, we have to clash, but we do have a shield. So when you clash in close quarters, roll with iron, and we get a weak hit. When you clash in, take plus momentum on a strong hit, so no momentum here, but we do get to inflict damage here. Hit, but we pay the price. Okay, so another we lose 1 more health here. All right, so I guess we should clash again. That's all we can do. Okay, so we roll with iron again and we get a miss. And I'm going to burn momentum here because I don't want to get any more damage on this character on Orin. So I burn momentum, and it turns into a weak hit. On a weak hit, you inflict your harm, while we still pay the price. Okay, maybe I shouldn't have burned momentum. Whatever. Okay, pay the price. So I'm going to lose 1 more health. So we're down to 2. But the progress track is filled. So I'm going to roll for progress here. And it's a strong hit. On a strong hit, it's in the fight, right? On a strong hit, the foe is no longer in the fight; they're killed out of our action, so it's easy. It's just gone. Okay. So that was our first combat in the script, and we managed to get into this treasury. It says Royal Tire Showcase. Okay, so maybe there's some faded artifacts here, but nothing really important. Nothing really important to our character, at least to Orin. Okay, but our health is low. I think we would take this moment to try and bandage ourselves or something like that. So I'm going to look up the heal move. Heal. All right, so it's plus wits or plus iron. It's the lowest, so it's plus wits. So we roll plus wits, and we get a weak hit. On a weak hit, okay, so we take +2 momentum, but we suffer -1 supply. Okay, +2 health. Sorry. Okay, +2 health, and suffer -1 supply. Okay, that's perfectly a very good trade-off, I think. So we head back here to the main room, and I think Orin would press on, right? He's not gonna waste time checking these side rooms, at least not this one. So we're going to press on. And we enter this room here, which let's say is, let's do it random, a prison. Okay, so it's a prison, or it looks like a prison, or it used to be a prison, but maybe But so there's some cells around this in this circular room, but I don't think it doesn't make sense that there's anything alive in there, because there's undead here. Probably ate. If there were any prisoner, they would have eaten them by now. So if there are prisoner here, I'd say it's a slim chance. No, there are no prisoners. So we cleared this room, right? Forgot to add that, and we also entered this room. Okay, let's say we advance, and now let's move to this area right here. Okay, we could head. I think it doesn't make sense that we could just barge into this room, which seems like the main room of this dungeon. Maybe this door is locked or something like that, and we would try these two rooms. Okay, let's see if we can get here, and to do that, I'm going to do. Let's try something different. I'm going to do a face danger move. Okay, face danger move. We're moving into this room, which we have no clue what there's inside. Face danger. You attempt something risky or react to an imminent threat. Envision your act and roll. Okay, we something risky, which is what, opening this door and barging in. I think it should be done with plus heart. Yeah, like we are very determined. We enter with great determination, let's say. Okay, so we roll plus heart, and we get a weak hit. On a weak hit, you succeed but face a troublesome cost. Choose one. You are delayed, lose advantage, or face a new danger, suffering -1 momentum. You are tired or hurt. You are the spirit or afraid. Okay, let's see. Let's see what kind of room it is, to see if that gives us any kind of information here. Oh, look at this corpse workshop. I think that would be pretty shocking. Okay, so let's add that room, corpse workshop. Okay, so I think the price. Let's see this area, cadaver storage. Okay, the price we're going to pay when we enter this room is we're going to lose spirit. Okay, because we have all these corpses and bodies strewn about like they were, I don't know, like they've been stored here in a very gruesome way. Okay, so when we enter here, we face this and we lose spirit. Okay, now we did the face the danger move. I think if there were some enemies here or something to fight, it would have been a miss or something like that, or maybe this face a new danger. But I think we just losing spirit is fine. Okay, and I think since we enter this big room, we can advance this one more. And now we should head into this, which seems like kind of a throne room or a temple of some sort. I don't know. And this should be where we would face like the main antagonist of this adventure. I think that's just what I think. Okay. So yeah. Okay. Let's find a room here fitting for this. I don't know. This well of souls. That looks good. Okay. That looks like something for the big boss here at the end of the dungeon. Or we do have some rooms that we haven't explored yet, these two, but I think here is where we would probably find the biggest enemy here. Okay, so Well of Souls. Okay, we're about to enter area Soul Whirlpool. Okay, so I think we just enter here, and here we're going to face our enemy. Okay, here we're seeing the possible foes Necromancer. I think it's obvious that there would be a Necromancer here, right? So we have a Necromancer, but perhaps he's going to have a few corpses with him, like a few zombies. Okay, so let's say type undead. I'm going to add a couple zombies here to keep the fight. Not. I don't like doing long fights in this video. Okay, in this video, so it's going to be 3 foes. All right, so let's say that extreme. Let's put this at formidable. Yes, okay, so that the fight won't drag like 40 minutes. I like keeping this video somewhat short. So let's say that this is what we're facing. Okay, it's a formidable enemy or group of enemies, and we just enter into this room, and this is the situation we find ourselves in. Okay, it's going to be a tough fight. We're gonna have to use all our assets here to survive. And the first thing we're going to do is enter the fray. So enter the fray, we roll with heart in this situation, and we get a miss. Okay, on a miss, combat begins with you at a disadvantage, and you pay the price. Okay, Pay the price. In this case, since it's the beginning of the combat, I think it doesn't make sense that we would suffer harm. We just got here and we see this, and we were getting ready to start the fight, but something happens that makes us lose initiative. Okay, so we roll the 100 here and we get a 76. 76. It's stressful. Okay, when it's stressful, so we lose one spirit. We get here and we see this massive what's the name of the, okay, this well of souls with this massive whirlpool here in the middle with souls. We can see souls spiraling around it, or kind of like trap souls. So I think that would seriously impact anyone who sees that. Okay, so that's the situation we find ourselves in. Okay, we have to fight this necromancer and we don't have the initiative. Okay, so let's go combat. And we can clash, but we have our shield. Okay, when you face danger using your shield as cover, add +1, and when you clash in close quarters, take +1 momentum. I think we're still somewhat at a distance from these foes. I think Orin, being the paladin he is, he would try to rush these enemies as fast as possible. Like they're trying to protect the necromancer. He would try to get them out of the way to get to the necromancer, or advance as much as possible. So I think I'm going to use the asset to face danger, okay, with our shield. So basically he's going to sprint towards them and he's going to try to bash them with the shield, or bash them away with his shield, okay, to facing danger. So we are going to roll with iron, because he's barging into them with all his strength, and we get to add a +1. Okay, so it's a roll bonus here of 1, and we roll with iron, so it's going to be a +4. So we roll with iron and we get a strong hit. Perfect. On a strong hit you're successful and we take +1 momentum, and that's what I wanted. Get 1 more momentum here, and let's say that we managed to kind of move them out of the way, but we don't have a clear shot at the necromancer yet. That would be too easy for the start of the fight. But we do get to take +1 momentum, which is what I wanted. Okay, so let's look at the moves again, and now we can clash. Let's say if we use this Sunder asset, when you strike or clash in close quarter, you may suffer -1 momentum and inflict +1 harm on a hit. Alright, so let's do that. Okay, so I'm going to reduce the momentum to +1 to 2, sorry, and if we hit, it's going to add another harm to this. Okay, so let's clash, and it's going to be with iron, and we get a weak hit. Okay, so on a weak hit, inflict your harm, but pay the price, and your foe has initiative. So I'm going to add 1 more here to this harm track. So we inflict harm. It's a 3. We progress 3 boxes, and let's get this back to 2. So the way I see this, we managed to kill, or not kill, but incapacitate one of these zombies with our axe. So let's remove this token here. So we're only facing these 2 now, but we must pay the price. Okay, let's see what happens. Pay the price, and we roll a 6. On a 6, a person or community you care about is exposed to danger. Okay, again, this is something for after the dungeon is cleared. So perhaps the settlement where we saw the vow, it's been attacked by undead while we're here on this dungeon. That could be interesting for a second adventure or something like that. So the second video, if we were to make one, like while we're here fighting, and that would kind of explain why we didn't face that many undead here. Perhaps they were this necromancer. He had sent a raiding party to the village, and that's why it was a bit light here in undead. That kind of explains the situation we find ourselves in. Okay, I like that. I think that makes sense here. All right, so okay, so we are fighting these 2, and we still don't have the initiative. Okay, so we should try turning the tide. Once per fight, when you risk it all, you may steal initiative from your foe to make a move, not a progress move. When you do, add +1 and take +1 momentum on a hit. If you fail to score a hit on that move, you will suffer a dire outcome. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. Let's say that we risk it all and we're going to try to strike the necromancer, okay, or the zombie who's in the way. So we're going to do the strike move and hopefully we will get at least a weak hit. Okay, let's do that. We roll with iron and we get a strong hit. So perfect. We inflict +1 harm. Okay, so that's 3 +1 harm. And we retain the initiative. In this case, we get the initiative. So let's do that and put this down to 2. Okay, and we do have the initiative. And turn the tide. It did say that we take +1 momentum. Okay, so we take +1 momentum. We take +1 momentum here. And now that we have the initiative, I think we should press our advantage. We didn't manage to kill the zombie. I think we have to fill this track a bit more for that to make sense. Okay, so what do we do here? Should we keep striking, or perhaps use our light better asset here? I think we should save this. I think we should do this. Okay, let's try this. You may use your light to strike or clash against a dark dwelling foe. In this adventure, I'm saying because he's a paladin, this also applies to undead. Choose the amount of light to unleash and roll plus light. So for light equal to that amount. So let's say that we're going to spend all our light. So it's going to be a +3. So for light equal to your amount on a hit, your harm is 1 plus your unleashed light. So that would be 4 harm. That would be a lot. Actually, that would fill the tracker here. I think that's great. So we're going to roll plus light here, and let's see, roll, and we get a weak hit. Okay, so we spent all 3 light here. Okay, so it's a strike move, right? But it's a weak hit, so we get to inflict +3. So 1 more, +3. But we lose the initiative. Okay, that's fine. So +3, and we're back to 2, but we lose the initiative. Okay, so I'm going to say that with that we disintegrate this zombie using our light. Like Orin, he raises the hand with which he's wielding his axe towards the undead, and a stream of light comes from his hand, and the zombie steps in the way and takes the brunt of it, and it disintegrates completely. Okay, nothing of the zombie remains. So we remove it from the map, and we are now facing the necromancer alone. It's a one-on-one combat now. Okay, and now I think we should keep clashing. We are going to use the clash move because we do not have the initiative. Okay, let's roll resolve with iron, and we get a weak hit. And on a weak hit, inflict your harm, but then pay the price. Okay, I think here we're fighting the necromancer. He probably has some spells he can use against us. So let's say that we lose 1 health here. Okay, he used some kind of necrotic ray on us, and that costs us to lose 1 health. Okay, we did fill the progress track. I think we could try to end the fight here. Okay, when you make a move, take a decisive action. When you make a move to take a decisive action and score a strong hit, you may resolve the outcome of this fight. If you roll the challenge dice and compare, okay, we have to get a strong hit, yes, I think that's what it means. Okay, we can't do that until we get a strong hit. When you make a move to take a decisive action and score a strong hit. Okay, so I guess we're going to clash again. Okay, or maybe we should take advantage of our shield again. Would face the danger. Apply here. Enter the fray. End the fight. You make a move. Yes, I think it would. Okay, so we are going to use our shield to try to knock the necromancer off balance. So if we manage to bash him with our shield, then we could try to use our axe to hit it, right? So I'm guessing I'm going to do face danger using our shield, which gives us a +1. Okay, so it's going to be iron +1. So we add the bonus here, and then we roll iron, and we get the strong hit that we wanted. So on a strong hit, face danger on a strong hit, and you take +1 momentum. That's great, but that gives us the opening to try to end the fight. That's how I envision this. Okay, so roll the challenge die. I compare to the progress. So we roll the challenge dice and we get a strong hit. Okay, so I think that's perfect. On this strong hit, the way I see this, we managed to bash the Necromancer with the shield. Remember that the Necromancer is not really a fighter, so it makes sense that he would be susceptible to this. And then we managed to cleave our axe into him, and with that, he goes down, and that ends the fight with the Necromancer. So we remove him from the map, and with that we can say, or we can advance the Purge the Ancient Crypt tracker, and we could try to we would make the progress roll here. Okay, let's see, it's the vow, it's fulfill your vow, right? So when you achieve what you believe to be the fulfillment of your vow, roll the challenge dice and compare to your progress. Momentum is ignored. So we roll and we get a strong hit. On a strong hit, your quest is complete, mark experience. Our quest here was dangerous, but with the devotant asset, we would get +1 experience, right? So on a strong hit, your quest is complete, dangerous is 2, and we would add +1, so we would mark 3 experience here. Okay, so it's 1, 2, 3 experience. I think that's even enough to get a new asset. I don't remember. I will have to read the book, the rule book. Okay, or maybe to get a new ability. Okay, with that, I think that pretty much we could mark this vow complete. With that, we can say that we clear the dungeon, right? But as we explore this and we fought, we did get I think a couple of rolls that said that something happened to a community or person that we know, or yes, we did get that 2 times. So the way I see this, as we were fighting, we are fighting or advancing here, we got the feeling that something was off, right? That this was too easy. Like there should have been more enemies here, and even the Necromancer felt a bit weak. So I think what that means is that once we return to the village, we're going to see, or we're going to find that there's more to this story and this adventure than we thought. Okay, perhaps it wasn't just a raiding party. Perhaps this Necromancer was something like an apprentice or something for the real threat of this quest or adventure. And I think it's going to be. I think there's going to be a second video to this because it makes sense, and I really like this character. So I think we could do a second part where we have to save the village. Okay, that's what we're going to do. But I think that this is quite enough for this video. I think this video turned out to be great. There was a lot of combat, and we managed to use pretty much all of our assets. I didn't get to use. I did use it once, right? The Striker class. Yes, we got to use all our assets here, which was really what I wanted to do. I think these 4 assets really capture the essence of playing a cleric, or at least the way I envision playing a cleric using the Ironsworn rules. Okay, so well, thank you for watching this video, and I'll catch you next week with the second part for this adventure. Let's see what awaits Orin here back at Ironvale. It's going to be exciting, I'm pretty sure. Okay, so thank you, and before I finish the video, let me remind you that the program I'm using here to play is called the Ogre, and I made that, and you can check it out at ogrebtt.com. So thank you, and see you in the next video.